The key to building your glutes, my friends, is to obliterate them in the gym, aggressively twice a week. But before we explode today, we're going to start with dynamic stretching and anything that opens up the hips because we are starting our first workout with the leg press. Specifically with a stance that's high and wide. If you didn't know, foot positioning on your leg press is going to determine what area of your legs you are focusing on. A higher and wider stance engages more of your glutes and hamstrings. Conversely, a closer and lower stance focuses more on the quads. Now, when performing these, it's important to not lock out your legs. The last thing you want is the machine to take you out. So, really control the weight here and focus on engaging your glutes and hamstrings. I perform these for 4 sets of 12 using a technique called progressive overload. There are different ways of applying progressive overload, but here with each set, I gradually increase the weight, always making sure I can complete the full 12 reps. This approach not only helps reduce injury, but it allows me to still challenge my muscles without over-exhausting them early on in the workout. Especially since my next workout, in my opinion, is the ultimate glute builder, the hip thrust. For the hip thrust, position yourself seated on the ground with a bench behind you. Keep your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart, and close to your body so when you lift your legs, you make around a 90-degree angle. Then when you lift the bar, drive through your heels, lifting your hips and the barbell upward. Thrust up until your hips are fully extended, squeezing your glutes at the top, and then lower your hips back down with control. For the hip thrust, it's really important to keep your chin tucked to avoid hyperextending. Now, I don't want to scare you here, but a new fear was unlocked during this workout because that right there, that hurt a lot. So I decided to add more weight because no way was I going to let the barbell beat me up today. But as you can see, even though I increased the weight, I still handle it with control. You see, when lifting heavy, it's pretty easy to start mindlessly moving the weight and overlook the activation of the right muscle. This lack of mindfulness can lead to ineffective workouts, depending on your goals. For example, if you're training for strength, the intention would be to just get the weight up, still, of course, with proper form. However, since my goals are to increase glute development and not go for a PR, it's crucial that I keep that strong mind-muscle connection and ensure that each movement is executed with control and intention. To help with mind-muscle connection, I pause at the top of my hip thrust. This helps me visualize my glutes and causes more stress on them since there's more time under tension. And research has shown that mind-muscle connection can increase hypertrophy in some cases, which is what we want for glute growth. If you're still confused on how to apply this to your routine, I've recently launched an 8-week glute hypertrophy program. This 8-week program not only enhances your glute size, but also teaches you the fundamentals on building muscle, as it comes with an 8-week hypertrophy handbook to guide you week by week. The program targets glute development, back, shoulders, and abs, aiming to achieve a balanced aesthetic physique while concurrently boosting overall strength. Now, moving on to my next workout, the selfie. Research shows the selfie increases confidence, leading to improved performance in your workouts. Just kidding. We're doing the dumbbell stiff legs. Standing hip width apart, toes slightly pointed out. Pick up the weight, keeping your chest up, back straight, and knees slightly bent. For the movement, hinge at the hips and lower the dumbbells down as far as your hamstrings will let you without rounding your back. Here, I'm focusing on controlling the negative and really feeling that stretch, also known as the eccentric phase of a lift. Then I explode on the way up, which is also known as a concentric phase. Research does show that slower eccentric movements should be paired with faster concentric movements. In weightlifting, there are 2 main phases of each lift, the concentric phase and the eccentric phase. The concentric phase is when the muscle shortens as it contracts, like when you're lifting the weight in a bicep curl. The eccentric phase is when the muscles lengthen under tension, like when you're lowering the weight back down in a bicep curl. Understanding the phases of a lift and how to apply them is honestly what's helped skyrocket my glute development. I also apply this principle to my next workout, the lying leg curl. Before you start, ensure the padded lever is positioned just under your calf muscle, slightly above your heels, so adjust the machine to your body. For execution, curl your legs up to your butt without lifting your upper thighs off the bench. Once again, controlling that negative, that eccentric, and going faster on the positive, that concentric. All while focusing on engaging your hamstrings. Same thing for the seated abductor machine. But for these, I actually perform them in a short, lengthened partial, meaning rather than completing the full range of motion, I'm focusing on the part of the movement where my glutes have the most tension. Since this is my last workout, I like to fully exhaust myself. So to fully exhaust myself, when I can't do any more reps, I stick to that highest point and I pulse. Pulse, 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 until my glutes burn. And that pretty much covers my leg day. If you would like some guidance on any of the principles I laid out today, I do have that full 8-week glute hypertrophy program plus handbook. All of that will be linked in the description. It also includes access to exclusive step-by-step video demonstrations done by me and a 5-hour EDM gym playlist to fuel your workouts. Since you made it this far, I'd check out use code YouTubeGang and get $5 off the program. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.